Ladies and gentlemen, it is pretty fair to say that there's been a bit of drama, a bit of discussion about one character in particular and some of the abilities that she has. And that is, of course, going to be Cantarella and her ability to swim faster while in the water, and also has some interactions with her kit, like building up her forte circuit while she's in the water. A lot of people are talking about this as predatory quality of life. Something that is just like in here, it's quality of life that's locked behind the banner. It's something that if you don't have it, your experience in the game is going to get worse. And a lot of people are drawing relationships to games like Genshin Impact, where naturally, of course, you have Natlan, you have all the Natlanese characters, and you have all of their exploration, everything that's great that makes Natlan so much easier to explore, so much more convenient, locked behind limited banners. So there are a lot of individuals on Twitter, a lot of talk in the space talking about how this is going to be something that's bad for the game, right? How this is something that's going to be quality of life exploration locked behind a paywall. And they're saying, you know, Wuthering Waves is heading down the exact same path as Genshin, because we have an example, right, of this character being able to swim or traverse faster in this sort of situation. But the thing is, there's a fundamental part of the discussion that a lot of people here are missing, and that is the necessity of the quality of life. That is the necessity of the actual exploration and how much it actually streamlines the overall experience. And so let me just show you an example of something from Genshin Impact, the game that pioneered exploration quality of life. Let me show you an example using a character who I consider one of the biggest perpetrators of it, and that is Scaramouche. I'm just in a random desert region in Sumeru over here. Please excuse the fact that I'm playing this game, and I'll show you all exactly what I'm talking about. So let's just say I were to want to get over to that spot, right? I can either go ahead and try to find a way to climb this gigantic fucking wall, gain access to those 4-leaf clovers, and, you know, kind of slowly make my way over there. This is something that's going to suck ass, and I think actually based off the geometry, I probably have to go all the way around the rock to even be able to do that climbing in the first place. Instead, I can just go ahead, pull Scaramouche, and then just do this. And then if I decide I want to go back to that spot, look at everything below me. It's super easy. It's super smooth. You can clearly see with how this area is designed, it is kind of intentionally designed, like geometry-wise, to be a complete pain in the fucking ass if you don't have a character that's able to fly. Navigating this area in particular, just look at it. Just look at this. Trying to get over there to that side? Let's just say I want to get over there to that side of the mountain. How do I do it? How do I do it if I don't have this unit? I'm gonna have to like walk all the way around. I'm gonna either have to like climb that gigantic cliff, or I just pick Scaramouche, right? And then I do this. Would you look at that? I'm already over to the other side. And this was in Sumeru. This was in version 3.0. Look at the massive amount of distance I just covered. Look how streamlined my exploration experience has become. Just look at that. When you look at Wuthering Waves and you look at the design of the geography in Wuthering Waves, it is simply not as unfriendly, right? I can't even talk about the stuff that's going on in Rinascita because hell, you literally can just go ahead and fly everywhere you want. It doesn't like matter. There's no way for any of the geography to be unfriendly here. And even when it comes to the design, you don't see like these repeated cliffs that you have to like jump from like one spot over to. And if there are any cliffs or any faraway destinations, you'll just fly in 2.0. So that's a non-factor in this region. But even when we go all the way back to Huanglong and we look at some of the regions and stuff over here, there's not really that sort of like unfriendly geography that you see built into Genshin Impact as a whole. This game, from the way that its exploration has been designed, it's inherently more friendly. It doesn't feel like it requires all of these ridiculous things to do anything. And the thing is, right, even if there is a cliff that seems like it might be a little bit far, even if there's something that might be a little bit high up, you want to know what you can do? Oh, right. A lot of people forgot you can run up walls. Because flying is in 2.0. A lot of people forgot that you can just do this. You don't have to deal with that absurd downside of elevation that you have in Genshin Impact. Look how fast it took me to make it up here. That is what you call the friendliness in the world design. This is how smooth traversal is with any character in the game. And you're just able to do it on repeat. Your stamina doesn't run out while you're sprinting. And you can just see from the geography over here, nothing is hard to reach. Nothing feels like it's a pain in the ass to get to, and nothing is really pay-gated. If the main thing that people are complaining about is the ability to swim faster while you're underwater, that's really not a big deal at all. That's kind of just actually nothing. Because guess what? If you have infinite sprinting while you're on land, you could just do this instead. You could just run alongside the water. And as long as you're not in combat, it's just gonna be indefinite. And the other thing is, well, would you look at that? A completely free echo skill on my teammate lets me transform into a motorcycle as well. And so you might be thinking, boy, oh boy, I see a big pool of water over here. Cantarella's gonna be pretty broken, isn't she, lads? Anywhere there is water, you're still gonna have all of these sort of like structural elements that you can just run alongside anyways. It's not a disadvantage at all. And the thing is, you can do gliding too if you really want to. I just run over to the top of this building, right? Okay, maybe if I don't get stuck on that. I just run over here. Now I could just glide or just run alongside the building. There's also a shoreline too. The actual advantage of being in the water is more of like a gimmick than a necessity like it is in Genshin Impact. I'm already over here and I'm just, I'm doing whatever I need to do over here. And it's an easy time. But I only showed you one region in Genshin Impact. Let me show you another one that's a complete pain in the fucking dick. Assuming you don't have the character that's explicitly designed to explore in that region. And you're going to be really excited to see this one. And do recall, ladies and gentlemen, this is Genshin Impact. Version 3.2, released in 2022. Oh boy! Oh boy! Does this look fun? Oh boy, does this look fun? Look how many 4-leaf clovers there are to teleport to. Oh man. Sure, I might be able to use this one, right? Conveniently place one over there. Let's say I want to go from here to that one over there. Right? All right, let's see what I can do. Okay, can't reach that one. Okay, I managed to reach that one. Cool. 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 And cool. All right. Now, how do I get to any of these other spots? What do I do? There's no clovers. Maybe I'll jump down here, right? Okay. All right. I gotta do the puzzle. Let me just switch my units real fast. All right. Where's my Dendro character? Okay. We'll take out Zhongli. We'll put in Nahida. Awesome. Okay. Here we go. Sweet. You don't have a Dendro character? Or the Dendro character doesn't fit into your team? You might as well just go fuck yourself, right? It's like, sure, there's a solution. But it's just annoying. You have to constantly switch between the units. And the thing is, I pick my Scaramucci. Fuck it, who cares, right? I'm able to go wherever I want here. I'm able to make my collecting process of certain materials just so much more convenient. And that's the thing. That's the part that people don't like. When it feels like there's intentionally designed parts of the overworld that are super fucking annoying. Oh, and guess what? These are ascension mats. They're hidden across all these little mushrooms. That just are designed to be annoying and designed to be a pain in the ass unless you go ahead and you pull the characters. That is the part, and that is the difference. There is nothing in Wuthering Waves that is intentionally designed to be this annoying as like a purely developer put in obstacle that gets alleviated as you purchase more and more of these quality of life characters. They're designed to be unfriendly. They're designed to not be fun unless you shell out for those new units. Otherwise, they feel like a chore. That's only the second area. There's a third one as well. You have the Apam Woods. What in the fuck even is this? I don't even see anything anywhere. How do I do anything here? Of course, I could just pull Scaramouche and then gain a ton of elevation. I can't even reach anything. There is kind of no excuse for this. Why are the trees so far apart? Why are the trees so big? And why are there so few of them? And sure, you can change to the Dendro character, right? You can do all of this stuff. You can try to make it easier for yourself. But then you have to slot in certain characters into your team that probably don't even fit them. You might not even enjoy playing them to get any of this done. It's a completely, absolutely sluggish experience. How do you think I get over there, right? And then I glide? Wow, great stuff. You just explore like this? Or you just pick Scaramouche, and then when you're at the top, you just go wherever you want. And this is the difference that people are talking about. This sort of like, again, intentionally designed, annoying-ass geography that gets alleviated and gets fixed when you're just able to fly and go wherever you want. And then you can just take all the shortcuts you need to get to wherever you want to go. Oh, you need the electro unit to go even higher? Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing, right? When you're comparing this game to Wuthering Waves, that's where a fundamental issue is forming. What in Wuwa is this annoying to navigate? What is there in Wuthering Waves that makes you feel like this annoyed while going from place to place? Sure, the world looks beautiful, but the world is a complete pain in the fucking ass to explore. And the thing is, when they're repeatedly doing this in so many different regions, when this is what you see in every new addition to the game, when you see this in Natlan and it's coming to a peak and being a complete pain in the ass, where there's one region with one specific gimmick that Mualani solves, a specific region with one specific gimmick that Kanish solves, and then you have the Jalonin ones with the cliffs, and then you have the Chaska ones with the whole like fucking air shit, whatever is going on, and then you're gonna have all the new Varisa stuff, where there's gonna be rocks that she's gonna break through, or you have to choose the Saurians to break through them for you. That is what is the problem. You are literally making your experience worse by not actively pulling these characters. And this is the thing. I very heavily doubt, especially with what Kuro Games has done, I doubt that they're going to make the exploration experience in the other regions dog shit unless you can swim faster. I don't think swimming faster is going to be the difference maker here of like whether or not your exploration experience in this new region is going to be bad. And this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's where posts like this are coming from, where they're quote-unquote defending the predatory quality of life that Wuthering Waves is introducing. It's because you literally don't need it. You literally do not need it because A, apparently boats are faster, flying's faster, and no major explorative region needs this or has ever needed this. You want to know the one area where it might have actually been impactful? It's actually in the Black Shores. There's one area where it could have been impactful. I do believe it's in Tethys Deep. Yeah, there's one area where it might have done something, where Cantarella's swimming passive might have actually had an effect. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since we've seen this one. This is from October of last year. You see this whole dynamic over here? Maybe Cantarella's passive might have been useful here. But guess what? It's just built into the map. They just gave it to everybody for free, right? This is maybe the one part where her underwater enhanced swimming speed and less stamina consumption might have done something, right? Who cares? It's still just here, right? Like, I'm using Brett right now. He's got no special swimming shit. And then they just unlock the waypoint for you right here, so you never have to even do it again. And you can just teleport to this area. That is what Kuro does when it comes to designing their overworld. The one area where you thought that Cantarella's passive might have done something, it functionally doesn't really even do anything. There's a lot of water in Tethys Deep, right? But then you look at the map and you're just like, oh, well, it kind of doesn't matter that there's this much water over here because everything is connected by land. And you can just walk up the walls too, so it's not even annoying to explore any of this. And then the one part that's separated over here, you teleport to this area during the quest and unlock the waypoint. I don't even think you can access this part anyways, outside of the story. And so this is just a story-locked area. You can't even use the swimming to get here anyways. And that's in the Black Shores, the region focused on water. You want to look at this part over here? Look how much water there is? Let's check it out real fast. Oh, man. Cantarella changes everything. You're right. I'm going to be able to get to that spot in the middle 5 seconds faster. What's here? Who knows? I don't think there's anything even important here. I don't think there's anything actually important here. Oh, it's just the entrance to the Tethys Deep. They don't put a lot of stuff that intentionally hampers the player's experience. They don't put in map features that are incredibly annoying that the new units make better. Because you already have so many existing systems in the game, like unlimited sprint and the ability to walk above walls. And fuck it. Look at this. Even if I don't want to swim, I don't even have to. I can just put Brandon Chang-Li in my team and just do this. I forgot we even had the grapple too, if I want to get even more elevation. The movement in this game is already so fast that feeling like you could swim faster, it's genuinely a complaint that I feel like people that don't actually play the game can make. Because if you actually have played and you actually have explored, you would kind of just be in the boat of, yeah, I don't really think swimming faster is really going to do anything at all, because there's already so many different quality of lives in the game. But then you compare it to something like Genshin Impacto. Oh boy, how do I even get anywhere here? Like, look at this. What do you do? Do you see any of the clovers? It's just a big empty space full of fucking nothing. Okay, great, we're closer to the ground. What do I do here now? Oh, good thing I got Scaramouche. Easy peasy. And Sumeru apparently isn't even the worst nation. Apparently, it's worse elsewhere. I haven't personally explored enough of Natlan to make a case of it, but if I'm already able to point out 3 unique areas just in Sumeru where it's a complete pain in the ass, unless I pulled Scaramouche, what do you think about the areas where you have to use a fucking NPC Saurian to do stuff? Unless you pull the limited characters. Guys, the definition of exploration quality of life locked behind a paywall. Not the ability to swim faster in a game where you kind of never even need to swim if you don't want to, but when the game actively feels like it's being made less convenient and actively worse if you don't pull them. And that is the name of the game in Natlan. And that is the difference. And when the new characters go ahead and they fix that, they make it better, it's not that big of a deal when we have something like faster swimming in Wuthering Waves. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully that has painted a bit more of like a clear light as to what is going on over here. This is a gimmick. This is nothing. This is like Carlotta having reduced stamina consumption on flight when there's already a food for it, and it's not necessary at all. And this change that we're seeing over here, the people making a big deal out of this, I don't feel like are fully thinking it through if they're making any comparisons at all to Genshin Impact. Because when you see what's going on in that game, when you see what the devs put into the design to make it feel actively worse, you'll notice what the difference is. So with that, let me know what you think. Peace.